Hello and welcome to another 15-minute practice. Glad you could join me today for some hanging and swinging. Just beginning with some basic progressions to start to warm up. I'm going to hold on to a fixed object. A door frame will work really well. And just start to stretch out the lats, leaning my weight back and getting some length and some stretch in my side body. And then I'm going to go into this horizontal hang, which is a pretty overlooked progression. But if you don't have an overhead bar, a horizontal hang works just as well to engage some of the pulling muscles. So I establish a strong grip, and you can see I keep my body in a pretty straight alignment, lean back, and I'm relying on the strength of my shoulders and lats to hold me up, but this isn't as demanding as it would be in a full hanging position. So here, just starting to gain some awareness and some scapular mobility as I disengage and engage the shoulder. This is just like our active and passive hang, which we'll be looking at later on. And then you can start to play around a bit, have some fun, and increase the complexity by switching hands. And we just want to make sure that the shoulder can reflexively engage and stabilize some of our body weight. And you can change the angle and the positioning of your body, but just starting to wake some of those muscles up and have a little fun, play a bit. Also going to add in a little bit of crawling work as well. So just a prone crawl here, shifting my weight forward and backward. This doesn't directly relate to our hanging work, but it's just a nice complement. We're pretty much trying to stay balanced between our pushing and our pulling, if not favoring pulling a little bit more, but I always like to throw crawling in. It's just a good way to wake up the body in its entirety, stabilizing the shoulders, waking up the core. Rarely do I just do isolated training, so getting some stretch in here as well. Downward dogs. Just spending some time in this prone crawling position. Any variations that work for you are fine. I'm just trying to stay in the shot here using static progressions. All right, jumping up to the high bar next. Doing some active and passive hanging shrugs. So again, getting a strong grip on the bar and relaxing my shoulders, letting the shoulders touch the ears and creating length in the side body, but then drawing the shoulders down, get the scapular depression while I keep the arms straight and go into that active hang. When possible, when the bar or the whatever you're holding on to allows for it, try to wrap the thumb underneath and keep a strong grip. Try to keep the elbows straight and work on creating this movement really at the shoulders. Relax into the stretch and then engage strong. If that's making sense, you can start to go into some of these rolling patterns. This is more mobility for the shoulder blades. The more control and awareness we can bring to this area, the better our hanging and swinging is going to be. And drop it down. Going to go on to our next crawling progression. Take on a supine or a crab crawl position. And I'm just going to start with some weight shifting forward and back. This is a great way to continue to wake up the shoulders, working them at a different angle. And just want to make sure that everything is stable and strong and warm before we start swinging from the bar. So just taking our time with these progressions, and this also serves to break up some of the volume that we're doing with the hanging. The hands and the forearms will take time to condition, and so by breaking up the practice with some of these crawls, it gives your body an opportunity to ease into the practice. We're going through some pass under transitions next. Focus on the shoulders, pressing strong into the ground as you rotate, and try to coordinate your breathing with these movements. We're going to come back up to standing. Remember to breathe deeply in between sets here. Your breath is really going to help you recover. Back up to the high bar. A few more active and passive hanging shrugs. And we'll assume an active position next and then go into some knee tucks. Stabilize those shoulders. You're going to feel that strength connecting from the shoulder girdle into the lats and then down into your core as you drive those knees up into a high tuck. Your grip is strong, your shoulders are secured strong, and that provides the foundation for a strong tuck. Seal the legs together and drive those knees up high. Drop down. And in these transitions is your opportunity to breathe and recover. And we'll go into a little bit of wrist and hand prep next. So I've flipped my hands around, fingers are facing me, and I'm just leaning back and stretching out my forearms. So anytime you're between sets, this might be a good drill for you to stretch out your forearms that will get pretty tight, pretty tense from all the hanging that we're doing. Ride the edge of the stretch and keep breathing. Another variation I like is the palm lift. I'm keeping my knuckles down and lifting my palms up just to get a stretch inside the hands. Now that we're warm, let's get into our practice. The first drill that we're exploring is the side swing. And we're going to be practicing this drill for 3 minutes. You're going to get as much quality work in during that time as possible. Key point with the side swing is making sure that the body is connected. You're holding the legs together and your body's moving in one piece as your center of gravity swings from side to side. Now I'm going to do about 20 swings each set, and you're going to have to pick the number that's going to work for you, and you want to give your body proper rest. So don't wait until you're running on empty and falling off the bar, but dictate how many swings that you want to do per set and give yourself frequent rest so that you stay fresh in your practice. As you go through successive sets, and you can add a little bit more amplitude to the swing. Remember, you're looking to keep your body connected here. We don't want the legs tick-tocking from side to side, but you can see the weight shifting from arm to arm. Make sure that you're coming back to the ground under control, coming down softly. Hold the body out to the side, and then relax some of that tension. So you kind of use your obliques to pull your body off to the side, and then you relax to get this swing started. And once it's there, it's just really relaxed, really rhythmic. This is a good first progression to start with. Shaking out the arms, shaking out some of the tension that accumulates in the forearms and shoulders through these drills. It's a little thing, but it's really powerful and very important in making sure that you maintain a high quality of movement, a high quality of practice through your work sets. If you're starting to feel good with the side swing, you can start to change your hand placement and move around a bit. So this turns into a traverse. It's working at your proper level, but also playing around and feeling free to explore some of these movements. Explore what your body can do. And stay very present, stay mindful. Make sure that you're not forcing your body beyond its capacity or moving into any painful ranges of motion. So there's a real balance to the strike. Okay, our next drill, we're going into some front swinging. Again, we're working to keep a strong grip on the bar, keep the arms straight through our front swing. Swing for a few cycles, come down to the bar, use those relaxation drills to shake out some of the tension. Use your deep breathing to help foster recovery. And whatever number of swings that you want to pick, just so you can stay diligent through this 3 minutes of practice. You can see here, to initiate the swing, I'm using a little bit of a tuck action, tucking my knees and reaching them forward. I'm also using that tuck to break as I return to the ground under control. You'll still be a little fatigued from the side swing. The grip will be starting to feel it. That's fine. Give yourself that rest and focus in on the next set. Once you generate the swing with a few of those tucks, sustain it. And if you want to start to play around with changing position or changing orientation, did a little swing reversal there. Play around with that. And especially when you're trying new techniques or any variations, you want to make sure that you feel confident in your grip. The last thing that you want to do is attempt something and your grip gives out on you. So I'm definitely feeling it right now. I'm going to take a little bit of time in my work interval to stretch my wrists. Take my time, a very mindful approach to the bar. Establish strong support. And I'm going to generate an amplitude of swing that I'm sure that I can control. So it's really easy to get swinging very dynamically on this, but you don't want to compromise your grip. So right now I'm a little bit tired. I do want to make sure that I'm keeping my swings under control. And that was my last set of front swings, and I'm just going to take some time now, shake out the arms, take some extra time to stretch out my forearms, breathe deeply, and recover. This is a short practice, but it is intense. All right, last drill, last 3-minute work period. We're going to work on one arm hangs and alternate that with a few pull-ups as well. Whole idea here is strengthening the body, strengthening the nervous system. So I don't need tons and tons of reps. I don't need to add too much fatigue to the mix, but I'm going to make sure that the practice that I do put in is very strong and it's teaching my body to create a strong connection. Strong grip on the bar and working some of these passive and active hanging shrugs from one arm, very challenging. And if you want to play with that, but you need to modify it a bit, you can keep your feet on the ground or a box, something like that. Keep some of your body weight supported. For my pull-up, I'm looking for a full strict pull-up where my chest touches the bar. That's the ideal. Rest in between. That little bit of rest, release of that tension will make sure that I can maintain strong enough grip for these one arm hangs, which are so challenging. I've got an underhand grip with a bent arm variation. And then a chin up progression. Same idea here. I'm keeping my body in a strong, aligned position and pulling strong, trying to touch my chest to the bar. Take your rest, value your rest, and figure out how you can optimize your recovery in a short time. And I really pay attention to how you're placing your hands on the bar, what kind of grip is going to enable you to produce the strongest position. being mindful with every phase of the movement and trying to execute with the highest possible quality. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to be perfect or you're going to be perfect, but this is about creating an intention for your movement and being patient and disciplined enough to execute that intention. It's not just getting through these repetitions, but make sure that you're teaching your body something. I'm back to my one arm, straight arm hang, adding a little rotation. These are a little bit more advanced. Don't feel the need to push or rush into this progression, but this is something to build into. Again, if you want to modify, keep your feet on the floor or the box and support some of your own body weight and teach your shoulders progressively how to be strong in these positions. Yes, great work. That's time. Let's take a quick cool down. So my favorite way to cool down from a hanging workout is very simple. It's just going back to the passive hang. So I'm going to keep some of my body weight on the floor and explore these one arm passive hangs. This is an opportunity for me to breathe deeply, feeling a release of that tension that accumulates, and these are great, especially after that pulling work that we just did. But getting back to this passive hang is a perfect way to come back to baseline after some solid work. I might add in some more of the wrist and hand stretches if that feels good for you. Great, go for it. But otherwise, just take this opportunity to relax, to seal in your practice. Did great work today. Now it's on you to go and recover. Give yourself a few days off and come back to this workout in a few days. And with that consistency over the course of the next few weeks, practice, 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 and you're going to see your skills grow. So that's it for our 15-minute practice of the day. So glad you could join, and we'll see you for the next workout. Take care.